What do I do if there are no MLS Next or ECNL teams nearby? I'm the college soccer guy, and I help you play college soccer. Let's get into it. So, we had a question submitted. It was a comment actually on my TikTok. My TikTok is at college soccer guy. I currently play E64, and I'm going into my U14 season. There's not many ECNL and MLS Next teams around me. What should I do? So, if you're playing E64, on paper, playing at a top academic Division III school is not realistic. Playing at a top Division I school is also not realistic. Now, are there exceptions? Yes, you can be a baller in E64, go to an ID camp, ask them what level you can play, and then maybe you're the exception. But it's important for you to know that on paper, when coaches read your emails, those aren't realistic. Now, Division III schools that are very good, say Washington College, which is in like the second best conference in Division III, they give $30,000 in scholarship if your academics are above a 3.5, is amazing. You'd be less than the 5%. You could totally play there. And you still have to do the recruiting process very aggressively. But when they get your email and you go to their ID camp, they're very seriously considering you. Where when you guys ask, are the ID camps money grabs? At a UCLA, if you're playing E64, odds are, again, I don't know, you could be the exception, it could be a money grab. Now, you should always go for the dream. So if UCLA is your dream school, you should go for it. It's also really helpful. They host a really good ID camp. Coaches work with you individually. You can ask them for it to be a reference. You can ask them to give you feedback. You can ask them what level you should aim for. So I actually would encourage you to go to a major big ID camp early on in your recruiting process, like freshman year. So that way you could be told this is where you stand by a professional. That's their job. So it still serves a purpose. Now, addressing the question, what do you do if there's not very many around you? Here are the steps you're going to take. So if you do have a piece of paper, please write this down. Number one, whether you're playing DPL or for girls soccer or E64, NPL Pro, anything below, I would say ECNL RL, which would be also the exceptions would be MLS Next, ECNL, Boys League Academy, Girls League Academy, ECNL RL. Below this dotted line, I would tell you to do the following. And it still applies to the other ones, but specifically for you since you're far away from teams or you can't afford it or whatever it might be. Number one, making a highlight video costs $0, basically. So, first of all, you have to make a highlight video. So that's number one. Now, I also need you to make what we call an every touch video. So you're going to make a highlight video. That should take about 30 clips. Then you're going to make which is about 2 to 4 minutes. Then you're going to make another video where you're going to play in a game, 90 minutes, and during that edit, you're going to take every single touch you took for that game and make that into its own video. That's called an every touch video. I need 2 to 3 of those. Then you're going to start an Instagram, and you're going to put your highlight video. You're going to crop it specifically for Instagram, which you can do with an app called InShot. And then you're going to post it, and you're going to start tagging the teams that you're interested in. Start with the D3 schools, and that's how you're going to do the video process. Then you're going to have your highlight video. Then you're going to have an every touch video. Ideally, every other week, you will be updating the team with an every touch video, saying, Coach, this is how I did last weekend. Here's my video. Coach, this is how I did. Here's my video. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to start with the Division III schools and the NAI schools within your region. If you need help picking those schools, give me a call, and we have a platform that basically funnels every single school based off of their major, which is how you should pick your schools. Because I'm the college soccer guy. I'm an expertise in soccer, but ultimately I want you guys to go to the best academic school. I became a pro. I made $1,500 a month. You need an education. I went back and got my master's degree. So no matter what, even if you become a pro soccer player, you need to get your education, and I think that's super important. So in saying that, please pick your schools based off what you might want to study. If you don't know what you want to study, odds are you're probably a business or a comm major, because most people who know what they want to study are either biology, kinesiology, pre-law, or engineering. If you're not sure, then you're probably in the business communication world. In saying that, that's a little bit of a broad bias there. But the point is, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to Division III ID camps specifically. And ideally, you would go to Division III ID camps with either hosted by a Division III school with multiple Division III coaches, or just one Division III school hosting their own camp. I wouldn't go to Exact. I wouldn't go to Future 500. I would just go to those ones. The reason being, I'll say this. Exact and Future 500 could be really good if there are multiple Division III schools going. But if you're I really want to get recruited, you're going to go, there's going to be 50 schools there. The top Division I schools are kind of already know who they want. They've already contacted those schools, and you're playing E64. So you need to get college interest early and quickly. Now, once you get their interest, so let's say you've emailed some Division III schools. They go, we like you. We'd like to have you on a visit. We'd like to schedule a phone call. You've got 3 or 4 Division III schools like properly interested in you, and they're Division III schools you would be interested in. So they're basically, you could qualify them as backup schools, right? You're still playing E64. Then I do want you to go to some ID camps, Division 1 level, Division 2 level, where you're like, hey, this is a quote-unquote reach based on the piece of paper, but I'm going to email them beforehand and say, look, I already have interest from Division 3 schools. I can't play MLS Next or ECNL for these reasons, and I look forward to coming to your ID camp. And here's video. Here's an every touch video. Here's me on Instagram. That is amazing, and all of that part costs free. You know, that's $0. Editing the video maybe is a little bit, maybe you have to hire somebody. You can either, I don't do only videos because I like helping people through the whole process, but there's a company called Fiverr, Fiverr, and you can hire somebody abroad for $20 to make your highlight video. Now, there are nuances to how to make your video, and I've gotten into that in some of the episodes, but I want you to keep in mind that when you are a Division 3 potential player, you want to get as much interest as you can. Then go to the D2 and Division 1 ID camps. Should you go to an individual one or a mass one like a Future 500? That's a tough one. The best way to decide is gain what we call genuine interest. So well before the ID camp, you're going to email them and say, are you looking for X position for the class of X? If so, I'd like to come to your ID camp. And if they respond kindly to that, then you should pick those ID camps. That's the best way to pick ID camps. So that's really the answer. If you cannot play MLS Next or ECNL due to distance or location, but you do have to be extra proactive. And if you want to play college soccer, you do have to reach out to the Division 3 schools first. Thank you so much for your time. If you want more help, give me a call. Links in the bio or description. Bye.